It is the most famous, heavily commercialized verse in the entire Bible. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." We print it on graduation cards, paint it on nursery walls, and use it as a personal promise of health and wealth. But what if I told you that to truly understand this verse, we have to strip away the coffee mug theology? Because the actual story behind Jeremiah 29 verse 11 is born out of blood, trauma, and a brutal reality check. Meet Jeremiah. He wasn't a motivational speaker. He was a major Hebrew prophet in the 6th century BC. And history remembers him as the weeping prophet. His job was to deliver a highly unpopular message to the leaders of Judah. Their corruption had doomed them. For telling the truth, Jeremiah was mocked, beaten, and thrown into a muddy cistern to starve. In 597 BCE, the Babylonian Empire laid siege to Jerusalem. King Nebuchadnezzar conquered the city and deported the brightest and best of the Israelites over 500 miles away to Babylon. The Israelites were traumatized. They had lost their homes, their freedom, and their temple. False prophets started spreading a comfortable lie. God will crush Babylon soon. Don't unpack your bags. But Jeremiah, still back in Jerusalem, writes a letter to these exiles. His message was a crushing reality check. You are not going home anytime soon.
It cannot be true.
You are going to be there for 70 years, build houses, plant gardens, have children. It is immediately after delivering this devastating news that Jeremiah writes verse 11. You see, the you in Jeremiah 29 verse 11 is plural. God is speaking to a nation, not making a promise of individual wealth. Because the exile lasted 70 years, almost everyone who originally read Jeremiah 29 verse 11 died in captivity. They never saw their homeland again. The promise was long-term. Which brings us to a difficult question. What about good people who suffer? What about chronic illness or dying young? Think of characters like little James in The Chosen, faithful, yet suffering from a lifelong physical ailment that Jesus doesn't take away. The Hebrew word for prosper in this verse is shalom. It means wholeness and peace. Not a pain-free life. A person can experience deep, spiritual shalom even while their body is failing. The Bible is full of faithful people who suffered horribly. The scriptural promise is not the absence of pain, but that God can bring profound purpose out of that pain. The ultimate fulfillment of hope in the future is not found in this 80-year earthly life. It is fulfilled in eternity, where all things are eventually made right. God's plans operate on a timeline that extends far beyond our individual lifespans, and true hope can exist, even in the middle of our personal Babylons.